If I had to pick the one ingredient that was the most important ingredient when it came to doing crossing over work, it would be your intent. And there is a very, very interesting reason for this. I want to go over that today. I am 100% certain that you have heard in your spiritual path how important intent is. So I don't feel like I'm really bringing anything new to the table there. Intent is indeed everything. It's very powerful on your spiritual path. It's extremely powerful and very helpful when it comes to crossing spirits over. And I really feel that that's kind of generally accepted, right? Your intent really is everything. Believing in yourself and knowing where your heart is and what your intentions are really moves the needle when it comes to doing crossing over work. Today, I want to dive just a little bit deeper into it, look at it from a different perspective, and maybe, just maybe, that perspective will allow you to open up on a deeper level to the power of your own intent. If you're doing spiritual crossing work, if you are helping spirits to transition to the other side in their own process, intent, yep, it's everything. But here's a way to think about it. Instead of talking about why it works, I want to talk about where it works. I want to talk about where intent functions best. And that, in essence, is going to be part of the why. So let's talk about it in these terms. Here in this reality, this beautiful agreed upon reality that we're in, we are in the physical. The physical is made up of molecules, and there is space in between the molecules, right? You've got molecule A, molecule B. In between A and B is a bunch of space. We get that basic concept. What is very helpful to know when it comes to doing spiritual crossing over work is it's the space in between that demands your attention. It's the space in between where the spirit is located. They have already disconnected from their physical body. The physical body is in the physical, and they are now no longer in the physical, meaning a spirit crossing over is not made up of molecules. Thus, it is within the space in between. I talk about this in my intuitive courses a lot because I think it's a really big piece. And I'll go over it again right now because I think it's really, really important. One block for people accessing their intuition is focusing on the material world. There's nothing wrong with it. It's what we're doing. We're human, right? Here's my example. You see something out of the corner of your eye, and I know you have because everyone has. But you see something out of the corner of your eye. You see the movement, it goes past you. You turn to look, and it's not there. And you wonder, where did it go? When you turn to look, you started to look at a wall, at a table, at a room. Your physical eyes were landing on physical objects around you, searching for that which you saw out of the corner of your eye. Here's the key. The peripheral vision out of the corner of your eye is not focused on the solid. It is defocused. If you can train yourself, teach yourself, practice defocusing, what you're doing is you're taking your attention away from the molecules and putting your attention on the space in between the molecules. And it's the space in between the molecules that is where spirit resides. That is where intuitive information resides. That is where you can see, feel, and hear, loved ones, guides, the spirit that you're trying to help cross over. So when we step away from focusing on the material world and we allow ourselves to defocus into that space in between the molecules, that's when we are really strong. That's when we are, our intent just thrives because our intent is now focused on where the spirit actually is. Putting your focus there is It's a game changer. It really, really helps. Let the world fall away and focus your intent on the spaces in between, because that is where spirit resides in essence. I know a lot of us, when we first start walking our spiritual path, I mean, maybe I'm just talking about myself here, but when I was first on my spiritual path, first off, I was in my early 30s. This is not something that happened throughout my lifetime. But I really held onto that concept of here and there. I held onto the concept of, well, I'm here on earth and the other side is somewhere else. And when my guide asked me to finally let go of that concept and understand that it's all in the same space, that's when doors flew wide open for me. That's when my intuition started to really jump in strength, because I wasn't trying to look at something or get something from a far distance. That's a very human physical world concept. I was understanding that everything is within, we are within, everything is all here. And it's a matter of letting go of the building blocks, the physical little Legos, right? The building blocks that create, a wall, a chair, a human being. When I was able to disconnect from that and relax and defocus away from the physical, that's when I had a lot more access in between. And I think that that tip is huge. It's why I went over it again today, because it's just, you can't hear that one enough personally. It's a great reminder to defocus. Now, when you're defocused and you now are, instead of focusing on the physical world, focusing on the spiritual realms, when you set your intent, when you send your intent out and you intend to help, you intend to send love, you intend to lift up, you intend to provide guidance or connect or support, now your intention is fully focused on the spaces in between, which is where the spirit is. The stuck energy, even. It's not even necessary crossing over spirit. Let's say you come across stuck energy. I just got done doing a video on the Sage Method YouTube channel about how to differentiate between, is this stagnant energy or is this a stuck spirit when you walk into a room and you feel the energy. And it is really important to stop, to reset, and to allow yourself to defocus, right? And be able to relax in, because identifying it is going to be easier when you're looking in the right place. And the power of your intent, as I talked about in the other video that I just did, the power of the intent is the key to the whole process. And things work because you've set that intent. So if you set your intent to love unconditionally the spirit that you've come across that is stuck, and wrap them in white light and support and love and encourage them on their journey, when you do that, focus on the spiritual realm and not the physical realm, it is amplified, right? Take this moment then. So we'll take a moment when you come across a spirit that needs some help, because it's really important to help them. Take that moment to give yourself a second to consciously relax your focus, to consciously defocus and let all of the material world for a moment just sort of fade into the background. Whether that's defocusing your gaze, closing your eyes, looking into a flame. It's going to be different for everyone. Some people are better able to defocus with their eyes closed. Some people are better able to defocus with their gaze just relaxed. That's what works for me. However it works best for you, give yourself that moment, give yourself that extra moment, because what you're going to do then is, instead of searching the material world or feeling like you're in the material world and the spirit is somewhere else, what the defocusing and the relaxing is going to do is it's going to allow you to connect on a deeper level to the spaces in between the material world, in between the molecules. And when you do that, you're there with them. It's kind of like pulling back the curtain and saying, okay, I'm going to step into this space with you for a minute and then send you love and then have my intent to help you. That's where intent works best. Intent still works great in the physical world. It absolutely does. People gather to meditate or to pray for individuals who are suffering and need healing energy, and it works, right? There is record after record after record of this. So it's not that your intent doesn't work in the material world. It does. It just works best in those spaces in between. It works best in the spirit energy. So if you're doing crossing over work, I guess this is the summary of why we came here today. If you're doing crossing over work, give yourself that extra second to let the agreed upon reality fade away and allow yourself to defocus in the way that works best for you. Then set your intent for, I want to help, I'm sending you love, whatever it is that you feel is going to help in the situation, then set your intent. You will amplify it tenfold. And I'm pretty sure you'll probably feel it as well. It's a very interesting and different feeling once you've gotten the practice down of being able to defocus and aim it, almost sort of set and aim your intent in the spaces in between instead of the material world. And you're going to help tremendously with spirits processing their transition to the other side, because we know why that's so important, right? We know that because ghosts are people too.